What's up, everybody? This is the pre-show. This is Malcolm Jewel again. So just kick back, watch 1804 with me for a minute. Once the music starts, the show begins. I want to give people a little time to come on in.
Like Georgia in the 1750s, contemporaneous with that revolt.
Hey, Cicely Renee, as you come in, please introduce yourself, say hello. I'm gonna wave at you. What's up, Big Keith? We're gonna be going in around 9, so I'm just doing a little pre-show situation, let the people get time to come on in, give you a chance to catch up before I start. But in the meantime, you can watch 1804. If you ain't never seen 1804, you should go get it from Tariq Nasheed's website. It's a dope movie about the Haitian Revolution, or a dope documentary about the Haitian Revolution. So we will be getting it going in about 2 minutes, about 1 minute actually. Stand by.
And at one night, he took out 3 handkerchiefs: a yellow handkerchief, a white handkerchief, and a black handkerchief. And he said to the audience,
"What's up, bro? Okay, let's do this now."
Omi tutu, ona tutu, tutu la woye.
Let's do it.
Kosi ku, kosi harun, kosi ejo, kosi ojo, kosi idna, kosi hala. I call upon the power and spirits of my maternal ancestors. I call upon the power and spirits of my paternal ancestors. For I am spirit of your spirit, blood of your blood, bones of your bones, flesh of your flesh. I call upon you to come forward to hear my prayers and requests. I do pray, I do pray, oh, I do pray,
bless me, lead me on my destiny.
Oh, do my, I do pray, I do pray, oh, I do pray,
Be at peace and good character.
Ori in me. I do pray, I do pray, oh, I
Say what's up, as y'all come in. I want to know who's there, man.
I do pray,
Ifa, all Orishas.
Just know what it means.
I do pray, I do pray, oh, I do pray,
Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner, Malcolm X.
To my ancestors that did life on plantations, we pouring libations. To my ancestors that did life on plantations, we pouring libations. The Lafayette, everybody.
Yeah.
We pour libations.
To the
Poor souls, we lost in that middle passage. Those who fought back, we mourn through closed caskets. Those whose offspring was ripped from their arms, sold off like they was cattle on a farm. Field niggas slaving sun up to can't see. Escaped and got shown the meaning I can't breathe. Queens who fell victim to masses, passes, resisted, hand nurse gashes from lashes. Those who sip water from designated fountains, pick cotton for crumbs, raise fams in the slums. From trees they hung like Christmas ornaments, as rednecks sip beers, cut off ears for souvenirs. Still blast, hoping you hear my cries at Goon Goon Modupe for your sacrifice. Stared death every day between the screws and stood firm until they revised the rules. To my grandmother, Samantha Turner, though we never met, your grandson still mourns your Modupe for giving birth to Annie Lee, who inevitably gave birth to blasphemy. Was only 48 when God called you home, left my heart in pieces. Yeah, I'm still grieving. I hear your spirit speaking louder than ever with this song. I'm lifting you and the rest of my ancestors. So to my Goon Goon blast, salute you. Without further ado, I present to you.
Yo, welcome to Good Morning Ifa, everybody. I give thanks for y'all taking time on this Sunday morning. You can be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, Makanjula. I give thanks for everybody that tunes in today. And I pray that this message finds you in peace and harmony and on top of the planet. Ashe? So we're going to start as usual. You guys got to bear with me. We got to do this right. Every show I do it the same way, so just please bear with me. We're going to go into our prayers for a second, and then we'll get into the message for the day. So, all right, everybody, be silent for a minute. Stop what you're doing. Put the remote down. Pull the car over, whatever you're doing. Let's pray. Greetings, Ifa. Goon Goon, everybody out there. Iba to everybody out there who wants to see this message be delivered and received well. I am Makanjula Omo Annie. I come to you today on behalf of this Good Morning Ifa broadcast. I pray that this message reaches the right person, sheds light where there's darkness, shares peace where there's war, internal or external. I give thanks for this day. I give thanks for Ifa working through me, or me working through Ifa, vice versa, to bring this message to people who I know need it, that look like the man in the mirror, African Americans in America who need a new direction. I pray that this message is not taken as controversial, but it is received as the message that is needed at the time, which is now. I give thanks for everyone who tunes in, for everyone who watches, for everyone who shares, for everyone who has a comment, for everyone who follows Good Morning Ifa consistently. I give thanks, and I pray that this message does not fall on deaf ears. Ifa work through me. Remove my ego out the way and just let me deliver the message that you want me to say today. I give thanks and praise. I shizzle, and some more. Ashe. So, again, you guys, welcome to Good Morning Ifa. I am Makanjula, and this is a Good Morning Ifa. This is a message interpreted. This is Ifa interpreted through the eyes, the experiences of an African in America. From an African perspective that's in America, that has been in captivity in America for 400 years. And for the majority of this part, we didn't have Ifa. Now we do. So, again, Good Morning Ifa is Ifa interpreted through the experiences of an African in America. And we're here every second and fourth Sunday of the month at 9 o'clock. I try to be sharp. If I ever miss one, trust me, it's something that went wrong drastically. But I'm dedicated to doing this every second and fourth Sunday of each month. So please go to our Good Morning Ifa page, like it, go to our YouTube page and subscribe so that you can stay in the loop with everything that we got going on. If you appreciate the message, you kind of want to be in the loop, because I get a lot of messages of people asking me, how do you watch it? If you're not in the loop, you're not going to know. So please do that again. So again, I am Makanjuala. I was trained personally. My Baba Ifa's name is Baba Ifa Iraro, or I call him Baba Amos, and he was trained by Chief Popola out of Nigeria, and they govern a string of temples in the Americas called Oturutuka. So that's where I was trained. That's where I got my information from, and this is what I'm going to be sharing with you based upon my trainings. Capiche? Ashe? You with me? Cool. Now let's go. First things first. I want to put the announcements out there for people doing good work. And I told y'all on my video last night, I got a big announcement for y'all too. So stay tuned for that. It's coming up. First announcement I want to do. I only have two, so just bear with me. First one is a good friend of mine. She's in New York. And somehow she tends to always do her presentations the same day I do mine. But today she's doing a presentation on Oshe Ifa in New York, in Brooklyn. Her name is Ifa Sewa Fatoyin. Ifa Sewa Fatoyin. And she's in New York, in Brooklyn. She'll be there today, 3 to 5 in Brooklyn, doing her presentation today at Bailey's Cafe. The location is 324 Malcolm X Boulevard in Brooklyn, New York. So again, she will be there today. Go see her, man. She is dope. Go to her page, like her page, follow her, all that good stuff. She's very awesome, very patient, very knowledgeable, awesome person, human being. Please go check her out if you get a chance. If you're in New York today around 3 to 5, go to Bailey's Cafe. Again, it's 324 Malcolm X Boulevard in Brooklyn, New York. All right, now, the big news, all right? The big news is this. We will be doing a live presentation in Los Angeles in Leimert Park coming October 27th. October 27th, we will be doing a live Good Morning Ifa presentation in Leimert Park. It will start at 11 a.m. It will be at the Hot and Cool Cafe in Leimert Park. Now, if you're from LA, I know you know where it's at already. So right there on Degnan, the Hot and Cool Cafe has gotten really popular in the last year or so. So you guys got to know where it is. It's right there on Degnan, right in the middle of all the action. The location, the address is 4331 Degnan Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 9008. All right. So the speakers will obviously be me. And I will also have speaking, like I just mentioned before, Ifa Sewa will be speaking also. Ifa Sewa will be speaking also that day. And my good buddy, Ifa Kola Day, Baba Jasan of Oturutuka will be speaking with us also. So it will be 3 bomb speakers that day delivering the message of Ifa on October 27th. So if you're in the area of LA, you'll see the marketing. You know how I do. So you'll see the marketing starting today. And you can start getting enrolled starting today. So I'll put the Eventbrite and everything up today. And you guys can start registering. It's free. There's no cost. There's nothing. It's free to the community. All you got to do is register. All we require is that you register. So we got to know how many people we need to accommodate that day. All right. So again, it's going to be me, Makanjuala, Ifa Sewa, and Ifa Kola Day are calling Baba Ja. We will have music, real singing, drumming. The singing will be done by my friend. Her name is Siana. She's dope. And the drumming will be done by my brother David and his crew. So we're going to have African drumming, and I will be performing live myself that day too. So it's going to be a good time. There's going to be food there, all that good stuff. We're going to have a message, food, and communion, so we can all sit around and talk. And if you guys have questions, you can ask, do all of that. All right. So again, if you're in LA, October 27th, this is Sunday at 11 a.m. in Leimert at Hot and Cool Cafe. We will be live. Good Morning Ifa will be live that day. All right, lock it in. You'll see the promotion starting today. All right. So if you guys are interested in more information about that too, inbox me, and I can send you a personal invite so I can make sure you know and you have all the information you need. I shizzle, I shizzle, I shay. Alright, now that all that stuff's out the way, we can get into what we came to do. So, today's topic. I'm sure you guys saw it, that's why you're here. Ancestors are calling us, and some of them are even calling collect. That's how desperate the situation has gotten. Ancestors are calling us. Some of them calling collect. You know what I'm saying? Why are they calling us? Because the question to me has been, has following our oppressor instead of our ancestors arrested our development here in America, in the diaspora, definitely on the continent? Has following our oppressors' deities arrested our development? Now, let me say this before I start. Because of some things yesterday that happened, I gotta say this right now. I just feel the need to do it. Before I start with this message, I want to give a disclaimer. This message is not meant to disrespect or belittle or offend anyone. It is just truth, and sometimes, usually all the time, truth has a way of offending people. Almost like my man Dave Chappelle's new Sticks and Stones. People are offended by that because he's telling his truth, and it's the truth. People don't like the truth sometimes. So please, don't go into your bag and put voodoo on a brother. Don't call Facebook and try to get me taken off if you don't like what I have to say. Do me a favor and research what I have to say. And if you research what I have to say and it makes sense, then leave me alone and join in to the cause. But truth is the truth. All right? So now that I've said that, we're going to go into some truth right now. And this first truth sometimes will offend people. But let's do it. So I want to lay some foundation here. All right? I want to lay some foundation here. Some definitional things. So as I go on, no one gets lost. All right? So we're going to be talking a lot about Egungun and ancestors. Not so much Egbe, but Egungun and ancestors. And there's sometimes a confusion between the two. All right? So I want to clarify what that is before I get into the rest of the sermon. So, an Egungun. What is an Egungun? Egungun is ancestry through your bloodline, directly through your bloodline. Like my mother passed away in 99. So my mother is now my Egungun Iya. She is my direct link to my Egungun on my feminine side. Okay? My father is still here, but if he wasn't here, he would be my Egungun Baba. Get it? Now, we all been throwing this term around called ancestors. Everybody's talking about my ancestors, my ancestors, my ancestors. Now, ancestors include Egungun. It includes Egungun. But it's also subjected to other ancestors. So again, if you have an ancestor that didn't necessarily do a whole lot in life, let's say, he passed or she passes away, they're still your ancestors. Now, Egungun ancestors are ones that definitely are in your line, but they also could have been exalted as a deity. Now, that's included in ancestry. So Egungun and regular ancestry is included in both. But some of them have been exalted into what you call a deity, such as Oya, such as Yemaya, right? They are living beings that were once here on this planet that became ancestors that got deified. Now they've even went up to Orisha status. Not Erumale, but Orisha. Okay? So I hope I'm not confusing anyone. I hope I didn't offend anyone, because a lot of people think Orisha and Erumale are the same. Some people think ancestry and Egungun is the same. Not the same. Now, in some traditional practices, they will say, yes, it is the same. But trust me, put it this way. Just think of it this way. If I sit on the mat and get a reading, and I get my Egungun needs to be fed, right? Would your Egungun be a part of my reading? No. I don't know your people. Why would they show up in my reading as needing to be fed for my egungun. Does it make sense? Now, ancestry, maybe. Because there's people that we revere that are not our ancestry at all. Right? We revere Malcolm X. We praise Martin Luther King, Mandela, Huey Newton, whoever else you love, Harriet Tubman. All these people, they're not your bloodline. But if you're in the middle of a war and you want to pray and you be like, look, man, I need some Malcolm X energy. Please come. You can do that because they've been deified, so to speak. But if you had an uncle that just fixed cars in the backyard and drank Coke 45s all day, I can't call on him. That's your folks. You get it? All right. Hopefully that's clear. Now that we got the egungun and the ancestry out the way, let's get into the meat of this. Now, I'll talk to you personally about that, Danielle. Now, let's go into this. Woosah. All right. 2009 marks 400 years of African enslavement on this planet. 2019, I meant to say, marks 400 years of Africans being enslaved, particularly in the Americas. 400 years of slavery, Jim Crow, apartheid on the continent, rape, emasculation, broken families, poverty, death, disease, losses of land, losses of human rights, etc. I mean, we can go on and on with the Ayewos that have come, or the Ibi that has come from the fact or the action of us being enslaved by other people. 400 years this year. Now, all the while, we have been worshiping these enslavers' deities the whole time. To this day, there's 80,000 churches in the United States. Not sure how many mosques there are, because the Nation of Islam has that locked down. But we've been worshiping heavily for 400 years to this day, to the point where we have mega churches now. I haven't seen a mega temple or mega mosque, but we have mega churches now. So this whole time we're worshiping the people who are inflicting these Ayewos on us. The whole time. Bear with me. Keep watching me. All right, pay attention to what I'm saying here. I have a question to my people. Okay? To my people. These cats right here. I have a question to my people. And because it's time to tell the truth here. It's time to just take the blinders off. It's time to just be truthful. Now I want to identify and define what Ifa says as truth. Ifa defines truth as the ability to speak all the words which, after verification, are found to be as they were spoken. Which means that after you say it and after it stands the test of verification, it still stands as what you said in the beginning. All right? Truth is the truth. You can't change it. I don't care how much you investigate it, how much you hate it. You can't change the truth. The truth is going to stay the same. It's never going to waver. So the question I have is, and you guys feel free to type it into the chat line here, please. Communicate with me. Give me some motivation to keep going here. The question is, has it worked for us? Has it worked for you? Has it worked for us as a whole? Be honest with yourself. I don't care if you got a house on the hill, if you got the Mercedes Benz in the garage, and your refrigerator is full to capacity. I don't care about that. That's your blessing. But has it worked for everybody? Because we've been praying to Jesus and Allah for 400 years. 400 years. We're still at the bottom of every category in this country. Be honest with yourself. Has worshiping your enslavers' deities worked for you and your people? I'm going to give that a second to marinate. Because if it hasn't worked, maybe it's time to go home. Maybe it's time to return back to what your ancestors did. Now the question would be, well, what is that, Makanjula? What was we doing before then? Good question. Great question. Let's dig into that. Remember, let's identify the perpetrators first, though. All right? Let's identify the perpetrators first. I want to be very clear. The enslavers that I'm talking about are Arabs and Europeans. The deities of these perpetrators are Jesus and Allah. All right? I just want to be very clear. Now, the Arabs, Islamic nations, initiated the slave trade. Let me be clear again. The Arabs or Islamic nations initiated the slave trades. The Europeans perfected the slave trade. You get it? Arabs initiated it. Europeans perfected it. I don't think there was any enslavement practice worse than the Europeans in history. But we can argue that another day. Now, again, going back to the question, has it worked for us? There is even an Odu in Ifa that speaks to the fact that it doesn't work for us. So this is not Jasir feeling my emotional self about, because I'm a Pisces, I'm emotional, so I'm mad about what's happening in the world. I feel like I got to find some way to tie Ifa into it. No, there's an Odu. I say it every morning with my morning prayers. The Odu is called Ogunda or Warren. Ogunda on the left or Warren on the right. Ogunda on the left or Warren on the right. If you don't believe me, ask your Aluwo, ask your Babalao, ask somebody to reveal what Ogunda or Warren is. All right? Now, let's recite some of Ogunda or Warren. All right, so you can hear what I'm talking about. It goes like this. The ocean is filled to the brim. The lagoon is filled to capacity. Alasan's going to Asan. Alasan's going to Asan, the Awo at the top of the rock. The elders thought over the matter and realized it was no longer favorable. They used their mustaches to cover their face. They used their beards to cover their chests. These were the declarations of Ifa to Isheshe, the heads of Evi, Aroko, and Ile Nife. What is one's Isheshe? Olodumare is one's Isheshe. Not Allah, not Jesus, none of that. Olodumare is one's Isheshe. It is Isheshe we ought to appease before appeasing any Orisha. One's Ori is one's Isheshe. It is Isheshe we ought to appease before appeasing any Orisha. One's mother is one's Isheshe. It is Isheshe we ought to appease before appeasing any Orisha. One's father is one's Isheshe. It is Isheshe we ought to appease before appeasing any Orisha. The male genital organ is one's Isheshe. It is Isheshe we ought to appease before appeasing any Orisha. The female genital organ is one's Isheshe. It is Isheshe we ought to appease before appeasing any Orisha. Please let us appease Isheshe. It is Isheshe we ought to appease before appeasing any Orisha. It goes on more with that, okay? But I wanted to give those particular ones some light for a reason. Particularly number one, that it states that you appease these things before appeasing any Orisha. Okay? Now, even in the Ifa tradition, they try to appease Orishas before they do anything. They appease more Orishas than they appease Olodumare. That's real. People walk around with elekes like these elekes that are supposed to be representative of these Orishas, are more powerful than Olodumare, your Ori, your mama, your daddy, your genital organs. That's real from an Ifa perspective. Now, moving back to the Christianity and Islamic ideals, again, we walked away from those ideas. We don't worship or praise or give any value to our ancestors or our gods necessarily, or ourselves, our parents. Look at the disrespect level of kids today. Look at the disrespect level of women today. It says Isheshe is also your genital organs, and everybody's on Facebook showing off the genital organs to anybody who wants to watch. That is not God's way. That means somebody has lost their way along the way and forgot what Isheshe is about. Now let me identify Isheshe for those who don't know what it means. Okay? Isheshe means traditionalism. Traditions. Our traditions are to appease our God, ourselves, our parents, and our bodies. That's our tradition. If you look at our society, just scroll on Facebook today and you will see everything in reverse of that idea. And you will see everything in reverse of that idea with somebody with a cross on. Tell me I'm lying. You'll see everything. You won't see that as much. I got to give the Muslims a little bit more respect in that, because you won't see that as much in Islam. They have a little bit more discipline in Islam. But Christianity is unbelievable. Just go to church this morning and just see what walks in there. You telling me that's worship? Respect? Value? Character? No. We have lost our way. I told you, 400 years we've been under captivity and worshiping somebody else's deity. Is it working for us? No. Not at all. Not at all. Whew. Now that I got that out of the way. Now, the trick part about this, though, all the religions that I mentioned, guess what? It's based upon the worship of ancestors. Isn't that ironic? Christianity and Islam, Buddhism, and many others are based upon the worship of an ancestor. What do I mean by that, right? Jesus is a Hebrew ancestor. Allah, Arabic ancestor. Buddha, Asian ancestor. These are supposed people who walk the earth just like what I described earlier in the description and the definition of an ancestor and an Egungun, right? These people walked the earth that got later deified and people worshipped, and they became a religion. But the problem with that is that we've been in captivity, like I said, since 2000, for 400 years, since 1619, worshiping somebody else's ancestor. I just told you, if Uncle Leroy was in the back working on cars his whole life, drinking a Colt 45, and you knew you can bring your car to get your oil changed to him every time you need it, every 3 months, that don't mean that when I break down, I can pray to him and he gonna help me to get my oil change fixed. It don't mean that. That's exactly what we've been doing. Praying to somebody else's ancestry. Jesus is some Hebrew people ancestor, supposedly. I'm not even going to get into the political aspects of Jesus. I'm not even going to do that. It's too much. It's a whole other story. Allah is somebody else's ancestors. Buddha is somebody else's ancestors. I'm not Asian. I'm not Arabic. I'm not European. We've been praying to somebody else's people. And we're wondering why these people are not answering our prayers as a unit. We're wondering why we still are watching ourselves crucified in public by police officers. We're wondering why we are suffering the things that we are suffering from. You're calling the wrong people. You have left your isheshe behind for somebody else's bull. And it was your enslavers that told you your isheshe was no good anymore. Why would they tell you that? Because they need you to be their slave. And if you believe in what you're supposed to believe, you would never stay down long as they'd had you down for 400 years. There's no way anybody knows who they are that would allow somebody to keep them down 400 years and still begging. There's no way. You forgot what your isheshe is. I'm going to let that marinate for a second. I feel like I caught the Holy Ghost for a second. I got to come out of this a little bit. We have been calling on the wrong ancestors all along. Let me paint a picture so I can make it clear. Imagine this. You're in Walmart. Okay? You're in Walmart tonight. And you go to Walmart. And you happen to get into it with somebody in line, right? You happen to get into some altercation with some cats in line. They start talking crazy. You go back at him. But you didn't realize that he had a couple of homies with him. So now you outnumbered, right? What do? Oh, that's right. My homies is here. So you start sending the bat signal out to your homeboys that's on aisle 9 getting some bread for you while you waiting in line, right? They see the bat signal and you start calling their name. Leroy, Tyrone, Andre, man, come here. They rush to the front, back up there to help you. They get there. Now these cats see that you deep, or if not deeper, these fools bow down and they retreat. That's what we've been doing for 400 years in the reverse. See, what you did in that scenario is you called on your people. But let's rewind a little bit. When you got into the first altercation, there were people around. You know how a fight starts. Everybody starts watching, especially nowadays. Everybody starts pulling out their phone and recording the fight instead of stopping it, right? Or getting involved with it. So you see people around, you're like, man, yo, help me out. What's happening? They like, they recording. They ain't your people. They should be helping you because that's be the right thing to do, right? But they ain't your people. But when you put the bat signal out to your boys who on aisle 9 getting the bread while you waiting in line, that's who answers your question. That's who answers your call for help. See, we've been calling on the people who are recording for so long. Literally been recording. These are the people who gave it to you, and they're watching your demise because they want your demise to happen. They are the authors of your demise. But you're calling on their people, the onlookers. You need to send a back call out to the aisle 9 again. Aisle 9 is where the Isheshe and the people that want to help you are. How can you forget you sent your boys over to aisle 9? That's what we've been doing for way too long. We've been calling on other people's folks way too long. The onlookers, and now we are here. We're here. Question is, how do we change that? How do we break that shackle and go back to what we're supposed to be doing? Now, this is not an evangelistic cry or some Jehovah's Witness knock at the front door for you to come into Ifa. I'm not doing that. I'm just presenting a clean glass and a dirty glass. You make your choice. It's up to you. So, let me ask you this. Let me set up my situation here real quick. Because this situation, I have this thing I came up with. You probably heard this before, right? Who's heard this song before? Let me know.
Shot Biggie and Pop, smoke clean. That's
Wrong
on
song. Wrong song. Let's correct that. I'm sure you heard this song before, right? So, this song, I was playing it last night and it made me think of something. It's like we've been down with OPP the whole time. Now, OPP to me means other people's people. We've been down with other people's people way too long, right? So let me know if y'all down with OPP.
Here's your membership. Get down with LPP. Yeah, you know me. Get down with LPP.
Nah, homie, not me.
Get down with LPP.
Nah, homie, not me.
Who's down with LPP?
Not me. Y'all down with OPP? Is that what y'all with? Other people's philosophy? I like that one too. Other people's people? All of that. All of that. We've been down with that way too long. I found that funny. I had to add that in there. But even though it was like a technical difficulty. But anyway. Are y'all down with OPP? Are y'all still looking to call the onlookers, the OPPers, to help us out of our situation? Let me let y'all know they ain't coming. They ain't came yet. It's obviously they ain't coming. So, what are we
It's
gonna
time
do
to
about
break.
it? What is the answer to all of this riddle I got going on? Okay, I don't want to go too far, too much further without delivering the riddle. I don't want to sound like this is doom and gloom. Okay, so let's get into some E-Ray stuff. Okay, let's set up the stage here. So, what would that look like? It looks like us calling ourselves back to our ancestors and learning what that looks like. Finding an elay that can teach you the right way and give you the right tools you need to begin to practice. And as we get stronger with that, we get collective with it, and we start using it for our advantage. Babalawos and stuff start coming together and doing massive elbows and teachings and offerings and things that will help change the energy around us. I want to go to an Odu that was given to me by my Babalawo, by my Baba Ifa Iraro, or Baba Amos. He gave me this Odu to put into this sermon today. And I want to make sure I cover it the best way I can. So the Odu that he gave me, he told me to tell this to my people. It's called Okanran Osa. Okanran on the right, Osa on the left. Okanran on the right, Osa on the left. Alright? And it goes a little something like this. Otori Bosho, the Awo of Egungun ancestors cast Ifa for Egungun when Egungun was going on a spiritual mission to Ojeland. May Egungun, the ancestors, have a hand in this Ebo. Okanran Upan, the Awo of Oro, cast Ifa for Oro when Oro was going on a spiritual mission to Ejebuhin town. May Oro also, the ancestors, put their ashe into this Ebo. Akamala Peakun, the Awo of Orisha, cast Ifa for Ashe Mobo when he was going to the land of eternity, when he was going to the land of perpetual existence. Osha and La, you are the one who molds the eyes. You are the one who molds the nose. Please let this client live very long on earth. After praying for the client, let us pray for ourselves also. Cast Ifa for Elimpe Akararu. May I, Makanju Allah Omoani, may I be successful in life. Alright, what does all that mumbo jumbo mean, right? Well, let's get down to it. What this Odu is saying is that Egungun and Oro, they are sibling deities, okay? Ancestral deities. They have their hands in everything we do. Every offering you make, every person you marry, every job you apply for, every place you move to, every daily event that we do on a day-to-day basis, Egungun and Oro are in it. Do y'all get what I'm saying? But they've been neglected for 100 years. So if we haven't included them and other Isheshes, if we haven't included them in our daily events, doesn't it now make sense that we're not out of the situation? These things that we have been worshiping, I don't worship, I haven't worshiped for a long time now, haven't worked for us. We've left Egungun and Oro, our ancestral deities that are in everything we do every day, that watches over us every day. We've left them behind. Without our ancestors, where would we be? Without your grandmother and her mother and her mother, would you be here? No. We have elderly that we cast to the side to this day. They're still living. When they pass away, people forget about their people that pass away. They don't go visit their grave sites very often. They don't bring them offering. They don't pray to them very often. We cast them away because, in other words, in our minds, in Christianity and Allah, they're gone. We're never going to see them again. Maybe when we get to heaven. But it's almost voodoo to pray to them or offer them some food they loved when they were alive. It seems voodoo to us because we've been taught by your oppressor that that's wrong. Because your oppressor knows what you've been doing. They've been studying you well before the 400 years began. They knew what you do. They knew your spiritual practices. That's why they use your spiritual practices against you and told you to stop doing that. That is voodoo. It doesn't work. You need Jesus or you need Allah. This is better. I've had African people come into my thread this week talking about I should stop doing what I'm teaching and get back to Jesus. Jesus is the real God. I have literally had that happen this week while marketing for this show. A Nigerian brother. This is how much of a brainwash we're in. It's not just here, it's on the continent also. I'm pausing right now because I'm feeling a particular energy and I gotta let it pass. Our contemporary ancestors like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, some of my favorites. I know they got to be turning over in their grave watching what's happening. Because if they knew what we know now, I don't think they would have done what they did. We need our Egungun. We need our ancestors to come help us. Our ancestors were our flesh and blood, living people who were here that made an impact. Why are we not calling on them? Why have we left them behind? Why are we still doing what we've been doing? Ancestors gave rise to us. Without them, we would not have anything, we would not be here. Especially our Egungun Baba and our Egungun Iya. At bare minimum, we need to give most reference to our Egungun Baba and our Egungun Iya. Those are our fathers and mothers. If we return to giving praise to those things alone, we would see our situation gradually turn around. With the structure of a patriarchal or matriarchal construct, we can rebuild our lives. We would have a model for a family structure. I know a lot of us, I know I can speak for myself, I didn't have a model for a family structure. Technically, really, I am really starting to get to know, I've been starting to get to know what a family structure looks like within the last 5-6 years. And that's sad to say, but it's real. Because I didn't have a family structure. I didn't have a grandmother. I didn't have my mother there like I needed. Technically, love her to death to this day. Love her to life, rather, to this day. But it wasn't, she only can do what she knew how to do. I don't blame her. But if we have family structures that carry on throughout generations, we will see differences in how we produce children, how we produce stable homes, how we can instill structure, how we can have more mannerable children, how we can elevate our society values. We will see a huge spike in personal and family communal confidence, meaning our communities would have more confidence in what we need to do and have more direction of what needs to happen, have more direction and have more. The thing I'm trying to say is that the people who are oppressing, they stick to their script. You're never going to see them off script. They know what they're going to do and they know what they have to do and they stick to the script. Once we get these things back and we stick to the script and we don't allow anything else to come and invade, we stick to the script until infinity, and then we can keep living out what we want to see, which I'm sure we're all praying for good things for our community. Nobody wants to see us in this position that we're in. I don't think anybody prays for police brutality. I don't think anybody prays for poverty. I don't think anybody prays for gentrification. If we want to see the things that we pray for change, and our communities change, we can regain back a self-purpose. Have you guys ever wondered, if you have children, have you ever wondered why when children, or especially black boys, they around 12 or 13, they begin to buck, they begin to fight back, they begin to act out, they begin to hang with the wrong crowd and do things, maybe even talk back, all that old drama stuff. Have you ever wondered why, ladies? I know some men may know, but some men may not know. But do you ever wonder why as a whole, you guys? Our boys, let me tell you a little bit. Our boys see white folks in school, and the police, in church, on grandmama's wall. Everywhere they go, they are taught and shown something other than themselves. Men, by nature, are natural conquerors. And when you see something growing up your whole life and all you see is something negative about you, but you see everything positive about somebody else, and you're in a classroom, they're teaching you about what somebody else's history, what they did, and everything that you hear about you is slavery and Black History Month. It sends you down a path of, I don't want to do this. Because the only place that he can see himself, people who look like him, is outside on the corner. So he retreats to where it seems familiar. And he goes to that corner, and he goes to that gang, and he goes to that crew of people who are doing negative that pretty much probably felt the same way. But why? The structure I just spoke of is not there. Because if we had these things in place, he wouldn't have to look to the corner. He would know where his people came from. He would know what his own spirituality is. And he would not be ashamed of it. Now, the same thing can go for women also. Because this thing is a communal thing. It's all inclusive. You're right. We need a rites of passage, but that doesn't happen in America. Rites of passage in America is your driver's license. That's it. There's no rites of passage for us. So these things, y'all, is where things have gone, and what needs to happen is we need to return back to our Isheshe. I beg and plead with everybody who watches this video, if you are a part of an Ile, God bless you. If you're not a part of one, seek one out. Find someone who can teach you about what your ancestors once did. This Christianity, again, no diss. If you want to stay in Christianity the rest of your life, God bless you. If you want to keep going to the mosque and praising Allah and Farrakhan and whoever else the rest of your life, God bless you. Because right now in Chicago, Chicagoans have the highest death rate with Farrakhan in Farrakhan City. If that's working, why is that possible? There's churches on every corner in every ghetto. Why is the death toll and the poverty and the crime relevant there? If those things are working. They're not working. And I'm not trying to diss one practice of a religion for my spiritual practice. That's not what I'm doing. That's not my goal. Please don't take this the wrong way. All I'm trying to do, clean glass, dirty glass. If what we have been doing has not been working, wouldn't you think it's time to recalibrate this idea? Do you think that your history began in slavery? And if you don't believe that, then what were you doing before you found out about Jesus and Allah? Look at all the great things we've done on this planet. The pyramids are still standing because they can't figure it out in Egypt. They can't figure out how black people can have so much brilliance to create such a thing. And there's pyramids all around the world. South America, there's a pyramid in St. Louis to this day. There's pyramids in Mexico. There's pyramids all over this planet that gave idea that we have been around this globe a long time before Christopher Columbus ever thought about or dreamed about it. We've been doing this. And we was not practicing Christianity or Islam or Buddhism. What is it going to take for us to return back to that? It's not going to be an Easter Sunday. Keith asks me, how do you know what elay to select? It's kind of a personal thing. I probably would have to make a video on that. And I think a friend of mine, Ifa Sewa, is going to talk about that pretty soon. I'll make sure I send you that video. She does, Keith. Because she has a great speech on that. I want her to try to deliver that too. But it's kind of a personal thing, man. It's so many different things going on with Ifa that you kind of got to get guided in the right way. I told you a long time ago, call me, let me know when you're ready to do it, and I'll do my best to push you in the right direction so you can get the right training, man. Because it's very important. Training is important with Ifa. If you don't get the right training, you can get led down the wrong road, and it can be a long road. Trust me. So you don't want to just jump into any elay that's everybody walking around with E-days and Eleke's on and Ashe and Ashe. You don't want to do that either. Because some of these elays ain't no different than the church. So you don't want to do that either. And I got a couple of them I would name to stay away from. But I don't want to put nobody on blast on this thing. But if you let me know, I'll give you the hit list of what to stay away from. Of some of the ones to stay away from. But yeah, find an elay, y'all. Find an elay. Find a way that you can learn more about Ifa. If you're interested, email me, inbox me. I will share everything I have. That is why I make these videos. I don't make these videos for me. I don't make these videos to get pats on the back. I can care less about that. I am very passionate about my people coming up out of these ideologies that has us at the bottom of the slave ship still. I'm sick of it. And I think that a lot of Babalawos and people should start speaking it towards this so that we can get this information out to the people who need it. We need it. You'd be amazed that this particular spiritual practice, which is an African practice, is practiced by more Hispaniola people than us. And y'all see, especially if you live in LA, where I'm not hating on nobody. Congratulations. It's time for my people to get it back, though. That's what I'm saying. It's time for us to get it back. I heard of Baba Fashola. I'll talk to you about him. Again, I don't want to give anybody's critique on the air because people take it wrong. You know, this is the time where people take everything wrong and emotionally. So I don't want to put it on air and then to come back and I was dissing somebody or it took something wrong. I don't want to do that. So yeah, Keith, just hit me in the inbox, and then, again, I'll give you the rundown on certain things, and you go from there, man. Again, let me end it there. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. It's just been one of those presentations that I had to take my time with. I kind of went longer than I wanted to go. I hope that y'all appreciate it. I hope no one got offended. I hope y'all ready to go to another level with this information. And again, seek out the information, y'all. If y'all dead serious, y'all need information, inbox me. If I can answer the questions, I'll get the question answered. I don't know it all. I'm new to this. I'm not claiming to be some great Bible out. That's not what I'm claiming to be. I'm a person that's learning still. And what I'm learning thus far is blowing my mind. That's why I got to share it with everybody that wants to receive. I am mocking you a lot. I give thanks for everybody who's in here still. Who's in here still? Thank you, Danielle. Thanks, Keith. Thanks, Ifa, Wuyi, Ifa, Yemi. Thanks, Crystal Green. Thanks, Petty B, Ifa Seye. Tyranny Hamilton. Danielle, you still there, huh? Lakeisha Doyle. Thanks, everybody. That's 2 weeks ago. I give thanks to everybody who watched it. Please, 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 if you like this video, share this video. Act like it's a Popeye's chicken sandwich. Alright? Act like this video. Let me turn this down so y'all can hear this. Let me turn it down. I want y'all to hear this. If y'all like this video, act like it's a Popeye's chicken sandwich and share it. Talk about it. Make a critique on it. Do something. Share the information. How in the world does Popeyes get $20-something million in less than a week? And I'm sitting up here putting this thing together and studying and asking Bible Owl's information to put all this information together for y'all to get a couple of likes. No. Share this, man. Act like you just ate a Popeye's chicken sandwich just now for the last hour or so. And let everybody else know how good it was. Post it on your page. Put it in your messenger. If you're in any groups, slap them in there with it. Thank you guys for listening. Have a great Sunday. Have a great week. May your days be full of Ire all the time. May Ayewos never see your doorstep. May there be no death, sicknesses, losses, fights, contentions, fears, doubts, any of those things. May you have all the Ire of life. May you have Ire of Ayeku, long, healthy, happy, productive life. May you have Ajay, wealth, money, wisdom, patience. Those are all Ajays too. May you have Ayah, a great spouse if you're a man, that's loving, giving, caring, nurturing, domestic, beautiful, fine, sexy, cook her butt off, helps and supports everything you want to do. May, if you're a woman, may you have a Ray of Oko, a good husband as a spouse that will provide, protect, be a man, nurture, listen, be patient with you, and support you also. May you have good children. May you have good children that are productive, respectful, mannerable, caring and loving towards their parents, their egungun, their babas, their iyas. May we have victory over everything that we are attempting to accomplish in this world, including and especially the resurrection of the African family. May we get back to our greatness. May we see our greatness rise again. And all the negativity see its demise in our community. I shizzle. I shay. Talk to y'all another day. Makanjula, good morning, Ifa. Don't forget to go to my inbox and let me know if you want to go to the show on October 27th in Leimert Park. Again, me, Baba Jasan, Ifa Sewa, 3 the hard way, man. 3 the hard way. We gonna come at y'all hard. 3 the hard way. October 27th in Leimert Park at the Hot and Cool Cafe. Hit me in the inbox and I'll get you the Eventbrite's information and y'all can register. Again, it's free. You don't have to pay to come. Don't worry about that. If you want to give a donation when you get there, God bless you, please. We'll take the donation, but there's no charge to walk in the door. All right? I shizzle, man. I'm out. Peace.